Good morning and welcome to episode 50 of Getting Rich. I'm your host, Rich Checkan, president of Asset Strategies International, and today is Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. Over the past week, we've seen some movement to the upside, finally, in the precious metals. There are a number of reasons for that. We look back over the past week and we got an announcement from the Fed that they will begin tapering asset purchases. So they're going to cut back by about $15 billion in purchases every month. And that sounds great, except they're still buying $105 billion in asset purchases every month. Folks, they're tapering, they're cutting back on how much they're buying, but they're still swelling the balance sheet. Don't make any mistake, they are growing the balance sheet for the Treasury. Okay. In addition, we've got some divergence among central banks over the past week as to what direction they think they should go with raising rates. We look at the U.S. U.S. Is looking potentially to start raising rates at the end of next year, 2022. Bank of England was all poised to go ahead and raise rates this past week, and then they didn't see a reason to do so. So that was kind of a shocker or a twist for the markets. And the Eurozone says that they don't see any reason to raise the rates, that the inflationary pressures are going to be dissipating by next year. So you combine all that disharmony among various central banks with how they're dealing with the inflationary pressures right now, throw in some weak data, some higher inflation expectations up to about 5.7%, and we're seeing the pressures both on the producer and on the consumer side. So when you see the producer pressures are still there, that will trickle to the consumers, and that tells me the consumer inflation is going to last for some time. Again, I've told you I don't believe this is transitory. I don't believe this is temporary. Inflation is very real. We could see it across the board. Food, fuel, everything is rising in price, to include assets and asset values. So let's take a look at the precious metals prices over the past week. Gold is up to $1824.60 today. That's up from $1784.60 last week, a 2.25% increase. Silver's up 2.5% to $24.20 this week from $23.62 last week. Platinum is up 1% to $1,062 an ounce versus $1,051 last week. And Palladium is up 0.75% to $2,104 versus $2,088 a week ago. With silver slightly outperforming gold, the gold-silver ratio, the number of ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold, has dropped slightly to 75.70 versus 75.83 a week ago. And the US dollar index is slightly up at 94.24. So in order to help you understand all this mess, we're going to go ahead and have our fourth quarter on the move webinar tonight. And I know we were looking forward to having them last time for the third quarter webinar, but we ended up having a great stand-in Dennis Miller. This time around, we will have Chuck Butler, the Chuck Butler of Daily Pfennig fame. He will be with us tonight as my co-host Chris Blasi and I share with you our thoughts on what is going on in this economy and what we can expect going forward. You don't want to miss this. You can sign up below this video by clicking the button. And I'd like you to join us tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, with Chris Blasi, Rich Checkan, and the Chuck Butler on the move. In the meantime, go ahead and follow us and like our YouTube channel. Send us any comments you have. Follow us on ASI. Sign up for our newsletters and alerts. And don't ever forget that getting rich starts with keeping what's yours.